Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for March 9th, 2020, with your host, Spacebreaker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hello.
A couple days late, but to be honest, you're not missing a whole lot.
I think some releases might have wound up having to get removed, but that was it.
More or less. Yeah, it is a slow week when most of our news is nothing super important. Outside of, like, one thing. And that's just, like, general world news related.
Yeah.
But for all that, Tommy, what have you been playing the last couple weeks or so?
Well, I've been playing Ultra Moon.
Oh, you picked up Ultra Moon? Or how is the third version of sorts?
It doesn't feel like they've removed as much as I figured they probably would. More so, they added and kind of trimmed back some of the fat on it, so...
I know story-wise, Lily, it gets, like, deprioritized a whole lot, which is just one of those, oh no, don't remove the main character, more or less.
Truthfully, I'm up to literally the end of the second island, and it doesn't really feel like anything's changed as far as Lily's story to this point, so it must be later that changes.
I think it's all, like, the later stuff once you get into, like, the Ultraopolis, the Necrozma fight, all that Ultra Recon Squad, like, all that stuff is where you get the changes.
Like, truthfully, I kind of feel like if they leave enough of it, then that's fine. But at the same time, I'm like, I almost feel like they have made the mistake of trying to add something, but they tried to give it the same priority. Because it also feels like the Ultra Recon Squad is kind of equal priority at this point, and it's like, yeah. Maybe that should have been we sprinkle them in, and then we give them a reason afterwards.
Yeah. Also, if I'm remembering the plot right, they are not a villain faction. They're just a group of people.
Yeah.
Which feels weird to be like, oh, the villains are still the same. This isn't a new villain faction. They're just aliens.
Like, yeah, honestly, you said it perfect right there. Because from what I've gotten of it so far, their world, I guess you would have to say, has had the light stolen from it, and apparently it is a similar source to the Z crystals. So it's like, I see why they tried to integrate it so early, to try to draw them parallels, but at the same time it feels like they might have gave it too much emphasis early on. It could just be me. But,
how bad is...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, how bad is it that you've made more progress than me in far, far less time than we've both owned these versions? I have had Ultra Sun for, when did Toys R Us close down?
Oh god.
Yeah, because I got it on sale at Toys R Us. That's how long I've had my copy of Ultra Sun, and how long I've had it and not played it. Because, by the way, I'm still at the school.
Of course, at the same time, that was relatively close to when you first beat Sun, wasn't it?
Uh, it was like after the release of Ultra Sun when it was just like discounted, but like, yeah, this was.
Well, it was close enough to where it was too close.
Yeah. I grabbed it because it was on sale, and I'm just like, I probably will need this at some point. For like the 3 Pokemon, and oh look, I got the Mythic, which is Zerosa? Electric cat thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I got that, so I got the Mythic, so I didn't miss out on a Mythic giveaway. And I've got the Ultra Beast because I've traded for them, and if I beat the game, I can get more legendaries to trade because they're... What you'll hit later on in the post-game is there's an Ultra Wormhole, like, travel system, and if you, like, go far enough back, you can go and get legendaries and fight them. And it's like most of the legendaries that existed at the time.
Yeah, because I was looking, and I probably need to go into home and look at the Palkia that I've got, because it could have possibly came from Ultra Moon, and not farther back like I initially thought. It's one of those that I'm like, that would be something to look at. If
the only tricky,
depending on how home marks stuff like that.
I would say it came from the specific region.
That's what it should, I would think, but you never know.
Yeah, I don't have my stuff to test that, so. Yeah. The only tricky part about the legendaries is that some of the pairs and triplets are like version exclusive, but you need like both to get a third one. Tapu's. Not the birds. Not you. Suicune. Entei and Raikou are version exclusive. Raikou's sun, Entei's moon. But if you have both on your team, you can then fight Suicune.
That's just all kinds of problems.
It's all kinds of So I could literally get all of the version exclusive for Sun in any of the thirds because I kind of have all these legendaries, so I could just be like, get on the team. Give me this one. But I have to actually sit down.
Cooperate. I'm trying to scroll, not select one.
I have to actually sit down and beat the game because this is all post-game stuff. But if I do beat the game, I can get copies of all the Tapus, a copy of Cosmog, a copy of Sigrade, copy of Necrozma, and then I can be super fancy and do both Necrozma forms at the same time.
I never paid attention to that. My Palkia did come from Ultra Moon.
Because it says it came from Alola.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure people have stacked up on legendaries because of this. I don't know. I think they're maybe one encounter only. I'm not sure. I don't know if you can farm multiple. I know you can.
I think some of them are specifically listed as you can only obtain one, but some of them they don't specify on Bulbapedia, so I wonder. I mean, to be fair though, why would you necessarily farm for multiples? I get getting two. So you would have trade fodder for the alternate, but past two, I don't really see the point in that then.
Yeah, I know you can shiny hunt with the Ultra Wormholes, because it's not just legendaries, it's a bunch of other Pokemon as well that you can get through Ultra Wormholes. And it's a shiny hunt method. But I don't remember the odds on it or how all that works. It's one of those cases of, I know this is a thing, I don't remember anything else. I know getting all of the Mega Evolutions is stupidly easy in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon.
Well then.
Because I'm trying to remember. I think it's linked to the surfing minigame. It's linked to something you can really easily farm, and there's just boom, here's all the Mega Evolution stones. You're done. We're not gonna make you like go through a whole bunch of bullshit for that. Which is like one benefit of that of those versions over Sun and Moon.
Yeah, and I started to the other day ask if you had an extra Ditto, and then I got to looking it up, and I'm like, oh, never mind. I can get a Ditto. I'm fine on that.
I was about to say you can catch a Ditto.
I can get 5 Dittos actually.
Yeah,
just by doing one thing.
Yeah, Ditto's not that hard to get a hold of in those games. The only trick is if you want to do shiny breeding, you need a foreign Ditto.
Yeah, but like I said about Shield, I'm not too concerned on that.
Yeah.
If I get one from like Wonder Trade or in Home's Wonder Box, then yes, I'm definitely keeping it. But outside of that, nah. I don't really care.
Breeding is breeding is more or less just rolling the dice several times and just going, did I get it? Nope. All right, you're trade fodder. 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 Nope. 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 And then you get like 200 in, and then you get it. Maybe. Or you get super unlucky and you're like 500 in.
Yeah.
Or more.
Now, I did manage to get 10 more Pokemon for trade fodder simply because of the fact of, I already have them in Ultra Moon.
Yeah.
So I've got trade fodder in Home again. After I was down to literally 0. I kind of wound up with whatever was in the box. I had to rely on it going back in the box. If I had to keep anything, that's an empty spot. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's not a good spot to be.
I just realized something. You probably don't want to evolve Cosmog when you get him in the post game.
Why?
To register him in Home. Yeah, you probably want to give like transfer it to Home as Cosmog, take it out in Shield, then evolve it into Cosmium, dump it back in Home to register it, then take it back out, and then evolve it into either Subleo or Lunala, whichever one it will go into in Shield.
In Shield, it'll go to Lunala still.
Okay.
Because those stayed the same. That's why I think I remember looking at that, and I was like, okay, so I can still evolve it into Lunala by having it in Shield, so as long as I've got Cosmog, I'm good. But I don't even know if I really want to fool with all that.
Yeah.
I'm almost at the point where I really don't care if I complete Home stacks. And that's kind of bad to say, but I really don't care.
A part of me wants to, but a part of me remembers, all right, you can't 100% it because you don't have a Meganium. Or not a Meganium, a Dionysi. So I can't 100% it. I legitimately cannot. I can like 99% it through breeding and like a bunch of other like hoops, but this is no, and I'm just like, so I wouldn't really want to go through all that hassle.
I'm not.
I probably won't either.
I'm not even going to finish the Galar portion in Home because that would involve me rebreeding everything that I've already done, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass because I did that.
I mean, that's just all there is to it. I'm at the no. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. I really wish they would take your Pokedex information because like that would just make Home like a little bit better. And
I mean, I don't get why they can't.
Neither do I.
access the save data to transfer Pokemon into and out of the box as it is. Why can't they just read that part of the save data?
Especially when Bank does that.
Like, I can understand if Bank's deck stuff won't transfer to home, because maybe that's some kind of weird something server side that they don't want to communicate properly. But why can't Sword and Shield and Let's Go both feed into home? I mean, if it wasn't for them accessing these saves directly, that wouldn't be a question on my part.
Yeah, because I think that's how like Bank works as well, as by accessing your save data directly.
Yeah. That's what's completely got me. I'm like, why? Why is this such a hard concept?
Well, anything else?
Not really, no.
Well, I've been sleeping in most of it.
I played very little of Star Fox 64 3D, and it was just enough to kind of scratch my Star Fox itch.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, that's about it, really.
I don't think I've really played anything that wasn't on stream because I've been like sleeping in most days. So that's yeah, nope. My Bowser for Soto came in today, so I more or less caught up to current releases on Soto for 01.
Nice.
Because this month gives us a 4-pack release that gives you Breaking Mammoth with the ability to do all of its form changes, or all of its like mode changes, and a Rise Hopper. As just, here is AI 5.5, which for some reason, I think it was like Frozen Stratos on Soda Pop was like confused on the numbering, and I'm just like, it's literally in between the release of 5 and 6. It's the half release. It's just that. That's it. It's a number pun. And I honestly don't remember when 6 is supposed to come out, because Soto suffered like some delays in the last couple of weeks that have like pushed back when sets are coming out. Because like I think 6 was supposed to come out either this month or next month, but now it's coming out in May. And then 7 is coming out, and as soon as I get all of Amiami's information up, in June. 8's coming out in July, and then 9's also coming out in July, which pushes it up super close to the end of 01, because it would probably end in September, I think. Right around in September. I double checked when 01 started, and it should be around September.
I mean, I guess that sounds about right. I don't remember, actually.
Yeah. And the only thing is like, we only know like half of 06, which is Metal Cluster Hopper, and then one of the anagram writers from Over Quartzer, because we still have Geo shit to get through. Because we got all 3 of them, and Tsukiyomi, before we're finally done with 01 in this line, and I'd stop having to ignore it. Because I don't want Geo material at all. Whatsoever. And I super don't care about these anagram writers. Their designs are cool. I don't give a shit about them because Over Quartzer is not that particularly good of a movie.
All right.
And Tsukiyomi...
I am uber confused on something.
What?
Why can I not get this Riolu to evolve for me? I have done everything that I'm supposed to do. What the heck?
That is not the correct page. That's a go page for Riolu.
I'm just like, what the frick? High enough friendship during the day. Both of which should be check marks right now. Come on now. What am I doing wrong? There's got to be something wrong.
Okay, happiness value at 220 during the day. Has it also leveled up at those values? That might be the thing you're missing.
What is the value threshold for 5 hearts?
That should be 220.
Yeah.
Or enough.
Because like that might be the problem, is if that threshold is just barely under it.
It might be. Happiness it sucks. I hate it. It's like the worst. It's the worst standard evolution method.
This is completely baffling me because honestly, it was real easy for me to get my Lucario in Shield. They fixed it. They managed to fix it enough to where it's not stupid.
Yeah, I do not like happiness as a standard evolution method. Granted, it's not as dumb as the one-off methods I've dealt with, but you know, it's hard to beat the fucking 12 steps it takes to like evolve Galarian Yamask.
Yeah.
That is a process I never want to do again. But that's sleeping in. I'm just like,
that's supposed to be high enough. It just leveled up even. What the frick? Come on, game.
Rielo's not feeling it.
Come on, game. What are you doing to me here?
The only other thing I've played that we were talking about is the 7 demo, and I've played that. I've talked about that enough across a couple streams. I'm just like, nah. This isn't for me. So yeah, ready to talk the short bit of news we got?
I guess so.
All right, kicking things off. Here's another thing to add to the list of video games that are being made into, I guess in this case, a show? Yeah, TV show, The Last of Us. For HBO, coming from Neil Druckmann, who is the writer, creative director for Last of Us. And apparently the creator of Chernobyl, Craig Mazin, are teaming up for this. And he's doing it because he wants to, more or less. So yeah, how do you feel about...
Right?
Yeah, how do you feel about another video game being added to the list of things that'll be adapted like at some point in the near future?
I mean, it's HBO stuff, so I never watch HBO anyhow.
Yeah. Is it weird that like the most consistent thing that's releasing right now is like the Castlevania series for Netflix?
Not really, no.
That officially has like 3 seasons now. 3 seasons. It is slowly going to be like getting more. It might get more episodes than like any other video game TV series besides like I think the Mega Man EXE stuff. I think. Man, I have binged that like early one morning. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I didn't like how sporadic it got in the last few episodes of it. cutting between its different plot threads, because it's kind of a whole lot of different plot threads that are just happening at the same time, and it's just cutting back and forth between them. It's just like, I would prefer if it was just like 2 episodes of this, 2 episodes of this, 2 episodes of this, 2 episodes of this, and just do that. Instead of like all of this cut together into single episodes. It's a bit of a mess to follow, but overall it's good. I enjoyed it. But we have not good news. So GDC has been quote unquote postponed, potentially canceled outright due to concerns about coronavirus. And E3 is BSA has said that they are watching the situation for E3. So more or less, this is like the top of many different video game things that have been canceled, postponed from different communities because of coronavirus. So yeah, it's a time to not go anywhere or interact with people at all. It's weird for me because like, right, I've been job hunting for the last like 6 months. I haven't got out of the house to do anything. Welp. Yeah. Worst thing for DDC was that a lot of smaller developers poured a lot of money into going to GDC to show off their stuff, and they've been needing reimbursed. And fortunately, GDC's been working with them to do so, but they've also have set up like GoFundMe's essentially to like help reimburse. How you feel about all this of more or less like the E3 might not happen depending on how things go.
I mean,
in like
to be
4 months.
fair, will we miss a lot out of E3?
Probably not, no.
I mean, it's one of those, it's like, if it was like a normal E3, I might could understand it. But seeing as how these last few years, it's kind of been on the meh to why are we even having it side. It's like, maybe we won't miss it if it does have to get postponed / canceled.
Mm-hmm. But we do have some better news, because Nintendo, for I believe Pokemon Day, teamed up with Google to have people vote on Pokemon of the Year. Which, if this sounds familiar, that's because this has been done before a year or two ago, just in Japan. And it was the same type of vote of you can vote on any Pokemon from any game in any region. There was only just a couple new additions besides the Galar stuff. But not only do we have a top 10 overall to see through, but Pokemon Database, or at Pokemon DB on Twitter, posted an image detailing the top 30 per region. And we have that to look through. And I'll be honest, top 10, not super surprising overall.
Truthfully,
but this
no, not really.
Especially when that number 1 is the exact same number 1 from the vote from last time. So, yeah, not a surprise winner there. The top 30, though, there's some surprise things in here overall per region, but we'll hit the top 10 first. So your winner and world champion is, of course, Greninja. So
of course.
No one's surprise. Number 2, Lucario. Number 3, the Mimikyu. Beating out Pikachu by, he's not even in the top 10.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you overall. But I'm pretty sure maybe not even top 20. Maybe top 15. Depends on how these votes shake out. I'd have to like go through and do the math, but I don't feel like it. Anywho, number 4. The only other starter in this top 10, Charizard. Which is kind of surprising that no other starter appeared.
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Because I'm wanting to say that there was something pertaining directly to the starters, and it seemed like everyone gravitated to Gen 1 starters. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
So, of course, you take what is the most popular Gen 1 starter and it makes top 10. That's not really surprising.
Yeah. Yeah. But what is surprising is number 5, the most popular evolution by a slim margin, Umbreon. The one of the 2 Gen 2 evolutions cracks top 5. I'm honestly kind of surprised.
I'm not, because I'm wanting to say, in all seriousness, it seems to be the more popular evolution.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm more shocked that Sylveon is right behind it.
Yeah, because number 6 is Sylveon.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm more surprised that Sylveon is right behind it.
A part of me wants to chalk that up to the anime for both of these, because I believe Umbreon was Gary's evolution for like Gen 2 onward for any of his appearances. And then Sylveon was Serena's evolution for that anime, and Serena's super popular, so of course Sylveon's popular.
I guess that makes more sense.
Plus, she's like the mascot fairy type, I would say.
True, because it was... That evolution did appear in... I'm wanting to say, wasn't it the first gen to actually transfer a lot of the Pokemon to Fairy?
Yep, X and Y was the first time for Fairy, and Sylveon was kind of the debut for that. Because I can't think of any other, like, pure fairy types that weren't changed to fairy types, to be honest.
Yeah, because I'm wanting to say, wasn't, for the most part before, a lot of them were just classified under Psychic?
Normal or Psychic, because, like, Clefairy, like, the Clefairy line went Fairy. Is Jigglypuff Fairy now, or am I just imagining that?
You might be right. Jigglypuff might be Fairy, too.
I was about to say, not regular Wikipedia, Bulbapedia, thank you. Yeah, normal fairy. Yeah, before it was just pure normal. And there's like a handful of them. Yeah, Togepi went fairy type, Snubbull went fairy type. And then everything past that is like Flabebe's line, Spritzy and Swirlix's line. Xerneas is fairy type. Comfey, Milcery. Yeah, there's not any real standout fairy types, to be honest. Oh wow, Meryl's fairy type. And okay, I'm wrong. There's another fairy type on here. Gardevoir is fairy type. It's psychic fairy.
Ah.
So yeah, there's some like half fair, or like dual typing for fairies, but like I can kind of see why. Anywho, number 7, Garchomp, the bane of competitive, I believe. Number 8, the only legendary to crack the top 10, Rayquaza. And one of the few legendary types overall, I think.
And to be fair, I think there again, that's another one that isn't too big of a surprise.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, the legendary birds are kind of more nostalgia popular than anything, but yeah, it always seems like Rayquaza is kind of the de facto legendary.
I am surprised that it's not Mewtwo, to be honest. That is the only other thing I was like, if a legendary's gonna crack top 10, it's Mewtwo.
I think that more falls under that whole nostalgia. More so than anything else.
Yeah. Number 9, Gardevoir. And number 10, Gengar.
The best ghost there is.
Yeah, a pretty wide selection of typing, to be honest, so that's nice. I think, like, grass is the only thing, like, really missing here from, like, core types.
I think you're right.
But like I said, we have a top 30, and I'll kind of go across and down, just hit the number 1s, and then we'll go down to the number 2s, and et cetera, et cetera.
There's no in between.
Do some page zoom. I have it at like 67%, and that's nice and not halfway having to scroll across.
Need an in between.
I was about to say, click the zoom in, and then do like control plus, control, or like control minus to zoom out a little.
Oh, I need an in between, but Chrome, you won't give me an in between. That's the wrong button. That's super the wrong button.
Not cooperative.
Nope.
Well, the number 1. Okay. The number 1s are not surprising, except for 2 regions. 2 of the regions didn't make the top 10, and that was Unova and Galar. Unova's number 1 is Chandelure? And Galar's number 1 is Dragapult. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'll be honest, I didn't see those coming. Especially Chandelure. Considering who's number 2, I'm kind of surprised. Speaking of the number 2s, Gengar, Gardevoir, Garchomp are here, but alongside them for Johto is Tyranitar. For Unova, it's Zoroark. Alola is Rowlet, and Galar is Toxicity. Or Toxtricity. Our first grass starter appeared. And somehow it beat out its final evolution. Number 3's Bulbasaur, Lugia, Flygon, Luxray, Hydrogen, Aegislash, Decidueye, and Corviknight. Number 4, Pikachu. Just made it in the top 5. Surprisingly enough. Oh, what?
I said, well then.
Yeah. Typhlosion, Sceptile, Piplup, Volcarno, or Volcarona, which I'm not sure if you count that as a legendary or not. I think you do. So there's another legendary. Noivern, Lycanroc, and Snom. Number 5, Eevee, Scizor, Blaziken, Infernape, Haxorus, Gudra, Zorora, that's our first mythic, and Alcremie. Number 6, Dragonite, Ampharos, Mudkip, Darkrai, Superior, Talonflame, Incineroar, Incinerance. Our first starter for Galar, not even top 5. I'm kind of surprised.
I am, but I'm not. Like, I'm more surprised that Snom and Alcremie kind of took 4 and 5.
I think Snom is memes. You can chalk that up to memes.
I feel like that is. And I mean, who could hate giant cake.
More or less, yeah. Another legendary with Darkrai. More starter representation once we get past the top 5. Number 7, Mew beating out Mewtwo. Espeon, Metagross, Glaceon, the first of the Gen 4 evolutions, Oshawott, Dedenne, the highest ranking Pikachu clone, Golipseed, and Zaxian. Sword Dog made top 10. Attaboy, Sword Dog. Number 8, Mewtwo, Cyndaquil, Jirachi, Arceus, Zekrom, Yveltal, Primaria, and Yamper. Bit more legendary representation.
Yeah, like most of that whole number 8 across the regions could be broke down to starter or legendary.
Yeah. I'm wondering if the Zekrom Yveltal is corresponding to like sales per version, since those are a couple of box art legendaries.
Maybe.
Number 9, Arcanine, Suicune, Milotic, Empoleon, Victini, Goomy, Beware, and a Wooloo.
Wooloo.
Victini cracking top 10 and actually beating out Reshiram, which is kind of funny because Victini was the only way I think you got Victini at launch was if you bought the game at launch and did the quest to get Victini, because Victini is actually a side quest to get in Black and White. Number 10, Lapras, Totodile, Absol, Giratina, Reshiram, Tyrantum, Solgaleo, and Inteleon. The first fossil Pokemon, I believe, with Tyrantrum. Number 11, Snorlax, Crobat, Swampert, Leafeon, Crocodile, Xeranis, Buzzwole, and Surfetch'd. Our first Ultra Beast, and it's the big Wasp one, not the Lily counterpart one, surprisingly enough. Wouldn't attack Buzzwole is topping out for Ultra Beasts. And nothing else interesting there. Number 12, Ninetales, Furret, Salamence, Torterra, Whimsicott, Hawlucha, Kyukimuku, and Scorbunny. How the fuck is Furret this high?
Why is Grookey not up there?
I know. That's weird.
Like, I get both final evolutions of the starter makes it up there, but where's Grookey's line? I mean...
Yeah, like Furret and Whimsicott feel like the odd ones out on this grouping.
Holy crap. So I went farther down, which it doesn't surprise me, the order. It more surprises me that looking at this, Grookey barely made top 20.
Damn.
Barely. Like, literally is number 20, and it's like, holy crap.
Number 13. Squirtle, Celebi, Aeron, Shaman, Snivy, Mystic, Litten, and Hatteran. Nothing super surprising there. More starter, legendary, and kind of like marquee Pokemon.
Yeah.
Number 14, Blastoise, Chikorita, Argon, Dialga, Zora, Fennekin, Silvally, and Sobble. Zora making it in, so like both Zora and Zoroark make it in. Another, I guess, maybe marker for like favorite versions with Dialga. I don't want to say with Buzzwole as well, because like wasn't Buzzwole exclusive? Was version exclusive?
Not sure, actually.
Number 15, Vaporeon, Ho-Oh, Latias, Galde, Scolipede, Ziggurat, Vikavolt, and Meltan. There's your Go representation there. At 15th place.
So question though?
What?
Shouldn't Meltan have been marked under like a Alolan? Since technically he's a Gen 7? He's in that weird limbo of should have been called Gen 8 but isn't.
Yeah, he's in
Let's Go.
Yeah, he's in Let's Go and Pokemon Go. Because you can only evolve it into Melmetal in Go. And
the problem with this is Let's Go is Gen 7.
Yeah. I think
Meltan technically is a Gen 7 Pokemon.
Which would technically put it higher. Which, looking at the numbers, would put him higher in Alolan. Would put him like...
Under Solglio.
Yeah, just under Solglio.
So that's one of those... that's an argued point, because where does he fit?
I think in Home's National Dex, he's at the end of the Alolan stuff. Just before you transition into the Galar stuff.
So... which, that is how National Dex he is.
Yeah.
But that's one of those that they didn't really specify which decks he should fit with more.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they're looking at it since the first main series game that he could fully be in was Sword and Shield. Maybe that's why.
Although he's not available in Sword and Shield at the moment. Well, okay, not yet. He will be because there's Gmax Melmetal in the data, but not yet. Number 16, Muck, Feraligatr, Altaria, Staraptor, Reniculus, Dionysi, Salazzle, and Phalanx. A lot of the bird representation, which is nice. Number 17, Charmander, Heracross, Kyogre, Togekiss, Meloetta, Delphox, Komomo, and Alpalturn. I guess people prefer Alpalturn over Flapple.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah. Number 18, Ditto, Natu, Mawile, Gliscor, Samawat, Brixen, Marshadow, Eternatus. Shield Dog is sorely undervoted. He is last of the legendaries by a good margin.
To be fair, I feel like I use Eternatus more than Zamazenta. So yeah, I might can understand that one.
Natu, Mawile, and Gliscor are kind of sneaking in. I feel like at least Natu and Gliscor feel like not major Pokemon. Mawile does, I feel like.
I feel like Ditto's in a weird spot.
Yeah.
Because no one really uses Ditto. They throw him in the breeder box and send others with him.
Yeah.
It's one of those, it's like, I feel like that's the weird one out of this list.
Mm-hmm. Number 19, Slowpoke, Pichu, Breloom, Lawbunny, Excadrill, Esper, Rocket Ruff, Morpeko. Pichu, super far down. I'm willing to say, like, of Smash representation, he's the lowest.
Probably.
Okay. If we count all three of the Pokemon trainers' Pokemon separately, probably not. Because we haven't hit Ivysaur. But in terms of the solo fighters, yeah, he's lowest. Breloom sneaking in. Law Bunny kind of sneaking in. Otherwise, everything else feels fairly marquee. Number 20, Nidoking, Houndoom, Torchic, Bidoof, Lilligant, Hoopa, Tassarin, and Grookey. Grookey, the best of his line. And then Lilligant and Tassarin sneaking in. And Nidoking kind of sneaking in.
Yes and no. I think that more stems, as far as for Nidoking, more from the TCG side of things.
Probably.
Like, game side of things, yeah. Yeah, that's a wait, what kind of moment, but
yeah.
I think TCG side of things, it's not as weird.
Number 21, Porygon, Togepi, Latios, Turtwig, Litwick, Oros, Lunala, and Grimmsnarl. Another fossil Pokemon. And Togepi, which I am surprised is not higher, because I would think more people would have nostalgia for one of the early bird Gen 2 Pokemon. Number 22, Vulpix, Quagsire, Groudon, Weavile, Bisharp, Ponchum, Lunala, or Luranus, and Zamazatan. I kind of like the Bisharps up this high because he's more or less a rider in design. Groudon, Markin, maybe version preference. Same with Zamazatan. Ponchum being high, kind of surprising. Others, not so much. Number 23, Psyduck, Entei, Deoxys, Frostlass, Curium, Dregel, Todekimaru, and Melmetal. Yeah, Melmetal would actually be higher if he was in his proper gen, too.
Yeah.
Dregel being this high is kind of odd. It's kind of an oddball Pokemon of that gen.
Otherwise, I don't really think.
Yeah. Number 24, Raichu, Quilava, Gravile, Pachirisu, Chinchou, Punkaboo, Toxapeck, and Centauroach. I am not surprised Raichu's so low. Poor Raichu.
The literal worst in terms of favorite of the Pikachu line. Because it's not the Pichu line. No, it's the Pikachu line.
Yep. More electric rodents showing up. I was about to say, do we have every single electric rodent in this list so far? We do. Okay, we don't have Gen 3s. And we don't get Gen 3s, but I think we get everyone else.
Huh.
Yeah. Yep, everyone, but I think Plusle and Minun get to show up. Yeah, everyone else but Plusle and Minun. Or Plusle and Minun. You are a gimmick and nobody likes you. Number 25, Pinsir, Porygon 2, Banette, Rotom, Emolga, Trevenant, Tapu Koko, and Dracovish. One of the abominations managed to crack top 30.
Why? Why are they a thing?
Who knows?
Put them out of their misery. Also,
yeah,
truthfully, Dracovish, I'm fine with. I feel like that's the best of the abominations, which doesn't put the bar high.
No, not really. Mogan helping around out the electric rodents. Rotom, is it weird that I feel like he's gotten like less significant over the generations? Because now he's just used as, we want tech to be fancy and stuff, put a Rotom in it. So now they're just like all over the place.
I mean, I think that more says that there's a problem with Rotom's breeding.
I guess. Porygon 2 sneaking in. Benek, I guess, kind of sneaking in. Tapu Koko being like best of the rest of the legendaries that weren't box art ones for Sun and Moon.
Which, that's not truthfully surprising.
Yeah. Although I'm surprised it's higher than another one.
Another one, and I'm seeing 3 that I'm kind of a little surprised that it's actually above.
Yeah.
1 in particular, well, 2 in particular, but yeah, 3 altogether.
Yep. 26, Jolteon, Woopa, Trico, Rosegrade, Keldeo, Pangoro, Mudsdale, and Frostmoth. Keldeo being the best of the Swords of Justice. That is weird. It's like the mythic that is meant to be the 4th of the 3 Musketeers for Pokemon ranks higher than any of the original 3 Musketeers. Damn. Rosegrade kind of sneaking in. Mudsdale and Pangoro, maybe? Definitely Frostmoth.
Not so much with Mudsdale, I don't feel.
Yeah.
Because it's got enough significance in Sun and Moon to be one of those to stand out kind of deal.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like that's where we should probably be at the end of this list, is more so ones that'll stand out.
Yeah. Number 27, Dragonair, Misdreavus, Sableye, Mismagius, Joltik, Phantump, Necrozma, and Iskew. Necrozma managing to barely crack top 30.
That's one of the few that, one of the 3, and actually the next 2 for Alola, that kind of made me be like, that's weird that Tapu Koko beat. I mean, I would have kind of figured that Necrozma, along with Popplio and Cosmog, probably would have been a little higher.
Yeah, I am surprised to see Joltik here. I would not peg Joltik as a top 30.
True. And I notice there's a theme with the 27th place, and that has to be a happy accident. There's a lot of ghosts in there.
Yeah, most of them are ghost type. 28, Venusaur, Shuckle, Ludicolo, Shinx, Mincho, Malamar, Popplio, and Upstugan. Popplio being this low, I'm just like, wow, why is Popplio this low? How did Popplio end up this low?
Yeah. How did our good Seal wind up this low?
How did our good Honk Boy end up so low? My good Honk Child. Why does no one like good Honk Child before he went and like became an opera singer? Venusaur, I guess, yeah, the lowest of the starter final evolutions.
Which isn't truthfully too surprising.
Yeah, Venusaur feels like the least popular of the 3.
And I think what doesn't really surprise me is the fact of the way even the anime treated it. It seemed like the less prioritized out of them.
Yeah, which is weird because Red's starter choice in the manga is Venusaur. He's the one that ends up with Venusaur. Blue, who is Gary in the anime, ends up with Charizard. And it's the girl Green who ends up with Blastoise. Alright, 29, Articuno, Wobbuffet, Shredinja, Munchlax, Golurk, Heliodisc, Cosmog, and Rillaboom. how the fuck is Cosmog this slow? Out of anything,
Articuno, actually.
Yeah, like as much as Cosmog is a fucking character in most of Sun and Moon, how the fuck is he not higher? How? Kind of surprised by Shreninja, like, eking out this weird gimmick Pokemon.
Yes.
Golurk, I kind of wish was higher because I want my Ghost Mech to be higher on people's lists. He is literally a Ghost Mech. He literally has rocket feet. He flies. He can fly. I think he can actually even learn fly. Yeah, he can learn fly. And rounding out number 30, Magnemite, Kingdra, Mightyena, Porygon Z, Genesect, Froakie, Ribumi, and Cramorant. I guess trying to eat Pikachu can only get you so much points.
Very true.
And Porygon Z, which means all of Porygon got represented. Which I'm kind of surprised by, to be honest. As much as it's a pain in the ass to get Porygon to Z, I would think it'd be lower. Nothing else too surprising.
No.
I'm not surprised by Mightyena. I think that's like most people's original dog Pokemon. That wasn't Articuno, or not Articuno, but yeah, Arcanine. Arcanine. Wrong, extremely wrong Pokemon on that one.
Articuno, the ice dog.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, how you feel about the spread?
I mean, I guess it could be worse.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
there was some surprises, but at the same time, it's like, well, it's not too bad either.
Yeah. I think I'm more surprised by things being lower than things being higher.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the poor person that is not me that wants to compare this data to the data from the original vote from a couple years ago to see how things shake out comparatively.
Oh, you don't want to do it?
No.
But it would be a lot of... I'm not even going to attempt to say fun.
Granted, it assumes that you have vote count data for that one, and don't know if there is. All I know is Cerebi had the full list. And that you got the entire list of Pokemon, so you could see even who was the least popular Pokemon, which I don't even remember.
Oof.
I'm actually going to try to look up. Cerebi not have that at the moment? Oh, well, I'll have to look later. Anywho, we got one more bit of Pokemon news, because we have a brand new Mythic Pokemon coming soon-ish.
Soon TM.
At some point.
By means.
Yes, by means we do not know of, because it's the star Pokemon of the upcoming animated movie, and it is Zarude, a monkey Pokemon who is dark grass. I kind of like him. He looks neat. I hope it's not a pain in the ass to go get him, though.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same mindset.
I am almost willing to fully expect hey, go to GameStop and get a card for it. And I'm like, at this time? I don't know. I don't know if I wanna.
You know, they kind of have a way they could implement mythics somewhat easier. And
yeah.
it would kind of rely on you to be active within the game, too. The raids.
True.
Since technically any Pokemon can Dynamax.
Have it just be a raid battle.
Yeah.
But then you run into the issue of getting more than one of the mythics.
Maybe...
They could, because I've seen it mentioned of more people want something like Victini, which is, hey, you go do a literal side quest and at the end you get the mythic. Maybe you get a free update that has you go to somewhere, you talk to someone, you do a small little side quest, and at the end is either a Dynamax raid against the Rude or just a battle against the Rude and you catch it.
Truthfully, that would be something neat. And it would be a way for them to possibly test out the whole second DLC.
I was figuring Mewtwo was the test for that. Because I am fully expecting legendaries to be...
Mewtwo partially, I think, would be the test to that.
Yeah.
But I'm more meaning about the fact of I doubt that the second DLC is just going to be like, hey, go here and just do whatever you want and you'll be able to get whatever you want kind of deal.
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling there's going to be some kind of quest system-esque.
Mm-hmm.
And that this could kind of be their test for something like that.
Yeah. Mewtwo might be more of a
confines of what we already have with Galar, but maybe make it end on a raid battle.
Yeah, maybe Mewtwo's more of a test of difficulty.
That's what I'm thinking with it. It was probably a case of, should we do level 100 for all the legendaries?
Yeah.
And I think the answer to that is yes, on one condition. You don't give it every move in the book.
You don't super hard type coverage it. That might be too much.
Yeah. Because that was the problem we had. I don't think the level was the issue so much as it had like every move in the book. So no matter what we tried to throw at it, it had a counter, and it's like, seriously, come on.
Yeah. Well, we do get to end on dumb news.
We always wind up finding dumb news.
Uh-huh. Well, you remember how we're getting a Monster Hunter movie from the Resident Evil people, right?
I could say yes, but that doesn't mean that's the truth.
Well, we have posters. Saloon stars Mila Jovovich and Tony Ya in costume with weapons. And they are kind of bad. And it's not because, where's the monsters? I'm not sure they want to show those because that might disappoint a lot of people. Because they might look bad. I more mean of, look at how much fucking empty space is in these goddamn posters. Look at it. Look at all this empty space. Why?
feel like, something is missing.
I would assume so, because like the first tweet I see, because I'm looking at the Twitter for it, because that's what you get for clicking on that to see the pictures, seeing them better, is be like, "Oh, we're the monsters." Being like, "Oh, people never heard of character posters." Yeah, there are character posters, except the character is front and center in a full body shot. The characters are
off in a corner with a very clear meaning of, should have had something else in here.
Yeah. Fucking it,
like if it was more like the cut down picture that Destructoid has, maybe.
Yeah. But like Mila's isn't so bad, mainly because she gets big ass sword that helps cover some of the empty space.
But not enough.
No, but Tony here, so much empty space because he is super shoved in the corner with his weapon also shoved in the corner.
Like I said, if it was like the cut down that Destructoid has, that would probably be fine. I still feel like something's missing looking at that, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So this movie comes out in September. I am not going to say it's good. It's going to be good. Probably won't be. The Resident Evil movies are extremely hit or miss.
Truth to be known, that's saying this will actually have any monsters in it.
I'm sure it will. They'll have no context to them because the Resident Evil movies like to adapt stuff and just shove it into whatever context they need to make the movie. Because those movies are not adapting the games verbatim. They're more just grabbing whatever they think can look good on screen and just throwing it in there.
Well, that's how you make a movie, isn't it?
That's how you make that movie. Which will bring us to releases. Is it weird that all the big releases are like at the end? At the literal end of this list?
Nope. Not at all.
Yeah, because it's the batch everyone wants. And everyone has made memes about the opposite protagonist wanting them. Because I guess it's just a carryover from the Smash memes that have just, oh yeah, Snake is really good friends with Isabelle and taught her how to use gun. So now Doom Guy has adopted her and now also taught her how to use gun, only bigger. Because now Isabelle can wield a gun twice her size. Anywho, we're going to kick things off on the 9th. Yesterday. I was about to say today, but nope, it was yesterday. Hover for Switch. For today, the 10th, depending on your time zone, we have a Black Future 88th for Switch in Langrisser 1 and 2 for PlayStation 4 and Switch. On the 11th, finally, Ori and the Will of the Wisps for Xbox One. That is finally getting released, I swear, after like 3 years of being on the docket. But that game will look gorgeous and wonderful. On the 12th, we have a Street Cat's Tale for Switch, Blessed Unleashed for Xbox One, Brotherhood United for Switch. That is the wrong context. That is a very different game that I am describing. Gothic Murder for Switch, Half-Past Fate, I can't read tonight, for Switch, Hidden Through Time for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Invento for Switch, Mystic Veil for Switch, Neon City Raiders for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, and Nin Days for Switch. On the 13th, we have Alder's Blood for Switch, Dead or School for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Mecho Tales for Xbox One, MLB The Show 20 MVP Edition for PlayStation 4, My Heroes 1 Justice 2 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, Neo 2 for PlayStation 4. That's coming in under the radar. I thought that would be more talked about. It's a Souls-like game. Cider Reloaded for Switch, Stella for Switch, Rack and Ruin for Switch, and Yoga Masters for Switch. On the 16th, we have Deep Diving Adventures for Switch. And on the 17th, we have Hell Waterers for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Kingdom Hearts all-in-one package for PlayStation 4, La Mulana for Switch, along with La Mulana 2 for Switch, and a package deal of 1 and 2 Hidden Treasures Edition for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. MLB The Show 20 regular version comes out on PlayStation 4, Narcos Rise of the Cartels for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Overpass for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, and RBI Baseball 20 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, if you require a different baseball game. On the 18th, we have Explosive Jack for Xbox One and Switch. On the 19th, we have TT Islands of Man 2 for Xbox One, Silent World for Switch, Desertopia for Switch, the TurboGrafx 16 Mini, and Seabed for Switch. And finally, on the 20th, the day everyone's waiting for, Animal Crossing New Horizons on Switch, Doom Eternal for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Stadia, and Doom 64 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. So, yeah, the big things are at the end. Not the thing I want to play and have pre-ordered. Nope, not yet. That's the next batch. And that is it, because I don't have a quick draw, and you don't have a quick draw. And that feels like a first.
Yep.
So, yeah, we have nothing else to talk about, because there's like no 0-1 to talk about. There's nothing.
Well,
indeed. So anywho, anything else?
I can't think of anything.
All right then. So Wednesday, I'm picking up where we left off on Ace Attorney 3 and wrapping up Case 2. Thursday, as long as I get the testing I want to do done tomorrow, should be Battle Red War Genesis. It might not be. It's not. I don't know what I'm doing Thursday. So you'll find out when I find out.
Friday, we'll probably be going back to Wind Waker.
Yay, after the rental rando did not go well. You got stonewalled on Faulkner. I got stonewalled on Bugman. I think the last team I pulled before I ended probably would have got me through, but I didn't play through to see. Because I got a good mix of ground and rock stuff. Which should have got me through all three of them, but fucking who knows. Rental Rando is harder than people probably give it credit for. Which is saying a lot, because it's already hard.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Saturday is
going back to Wind Waker.
Yep, Saturday is something.
I want to say Sword and Shield raids.
You want that G-Max Machamp?
And or Gengar.
Or both. I supremely want a G-Max Gengar. I want my Cthulian nightmare that is G-Max Gengar. And we're back around the Sunday with fucking more Ghost. Oh, God. At least we get 2 episodes directed by Sakamoto. I'll be happy. Maybe those 2 episodes will turn Ghost around and make it a little better, because somebody on the Token Nation forums has been doing watch threads of him watching through series actually had a thread on Ghost, and I read through it a little bit. And more or less, where we are right now is where he started to turn around on the show and being like, it's fine.
Huh. Makes me now wonder if I dropped the show at the wrong point before then.
Based off what I remember, no. no, not from what I remember. Because the problem is we run into Adele being our main villain for most of this run, and you know how you don't like bosses that don't die and stay around too long? What if there was 15 of them, plus Adele? Because that's more or less the Genmisers and Adele for most of the rest of Ghost, I feel like I remember. Is these people refuse to fucking die, even though Mugen literally is meant to chip away at these fuckers, and they refuse to die. And it's also mixed in with a Makoto subplot that I'm just like, why the fuck is this here? What is happening? Why did this become a thing? So, yeah, Ghost is gonna be fun. Gonna be so fun.
Is that the word you're using for it now?
Yep, it's so fun. I will say this, if this batch does not turn things around, we might just move up the Ichigo movie a week and be like, fuck it, we're gonna do it now because I want a break.
I mean, if we do, it's going to be because you want a break. I'm at the point now where, I've dropped this show around this point once already. I am seeing it through since I saw Geo through.
Yeah.
Because this show is not... It's not ticking me off to the point Geo was at this point. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Although, he pointed out something that, weirdly enough, I kind of agree with, because it's a problem that is shared with the other show of this era that I'm not the hottest on, which is Wizard. And that is, what the fuck is Takeru's life outside of being a writer?
True.
Because he also had the point of like, what is Haruto's life when he's not trying to blow up a phantom? What does he do?
A very good question, actually.
Yeah, it was like, we barely got into Haruto's backstory in the show. And I feel like that's also becoming a problem with Ghost, where it's just like, we don't really get to Takeru at all. Like, the only person we've gotten kind of backstory for is Alan. And, unfortunately, most of that is, like, shoved off into the Blu-ray specials. So, yeah. Anywho, that's the week ahead for us, folks. So, for Tommy, I'm Peace. Good night, everybody. We'll see you then.